What's up, YouTube? It's me, the artisanmc, running over the fucking curb. And today I'm going to give you a reaction to Next Goal Wins by Taika Waititi. Now, it may seem a little funny to some people that I'm doing a review on a movie that Taika Waititi did. And I will clarify this just by saying, in this movie actually proves it out that I didn't have a problem with Taika Waititi necessarily. I liked his movies, his shows, and his movies are pretty fun. His Thor movies were shit though. Just what it is. His Thor movies were shit. And more so after just leaving this movie and watching it and having a bunch of good laughs and stuff like that, I'm really sitting there thinking that he was entirely miscast as a director on Thor. Completely. Completely so. This movie was fun. Everybody was laughing through it. The humor was there. Wasn't any weird sexual jokes or anything like that. And it felt like it had a good heart at a point in it. All of which was missing from the Thor movies. So I'm really of the mind that he should never have been doing a Thor movie. It was like tonally completely different from who he is and how he directs, as opposed to what the character is supposed to be. But this movie is somewhat based on a true story, based on true events, and it stars the American Samoa football team or soccer team, if you don't know the difference. It stars Michael Fassbender. Will Arnett is in it. Kimana is in it, and Elizabeth Moss, I think is her name. She was in the Foundation series as Tellum. But you find out how in 2001, American Samoa lost ridiculously in professional football. Like 31 to nothing. Goalie couldn't block a damn shot. They just got trunks. They were the bottom of the entire league, 204th. By 2011, they still had never won a game. Never. Getting ready to be dropped out of the standings. And so happens, Michael Fassbender's character of Thomas, I can't think of his last name, is a football or soccer coach. He's on his last leg in this sport. And since American Samoa wants to win at least 1 point in a game, and the head of their federation is really pushing for it, they call for aid from the larger group, and they send them Michael Fassbender's character, Thomas, as a chance for this coach to redeem himself because he is on his way out. He's been fired from everything. They gave him this job just to give him a chance. But other than that, he will not be coaching at all. You get into a bit of fish out of water scenario where this character has to go to Samoa and try to train this team of misfits, more or less. Now, this is not a story that you have not heard, be it Bad News Bears, Ladybugs, Unnecessary Roughness, Wildcats. There's Mighty Ducks. There's been plenty of sports movies made about this same concept. Okay, so it's not a revolutionary concept. Oh, Shaolin Soccer is another one that comes to mind as well. But it is the first time you're seeing it from the American Samoa perspective. Now, to say the movie moved quickly, it did move a bit quickly. It did. But there was humor thrown in there at different spots that was just pithy and funny, like on the money funny. And it's not that they were telling, it's not that they were telling real jokes or anything like that. Is the situation and their reaction in the situation was funny. And I enjoyed that. I mean, having watched the last couple of movies, excuse me, that I've seen, be it Napoleon, Hunger Games, Killers of the Flower Moon, I'm appreciating the humor. I'm really appreciating the humor in this because it was actually funny. I mean, there were some legitimate WTF moments in it, but there were also a bunch of legitimate laughs at the situation of what was happening. Now, I think people will be able to call this formulaic, right? Because it's a thing that we all know. But I would say Taika Waititi's injection of humor into it, situational humor, is what plays up the movie and the characters to having some heart, making it seem like something you actually would care about and kind of liking the characters. Right? Michael Fassbender wildly inappropriate and almost not inept, but he is a man that's on the skids. Okay, he is kind of having a rough go at things right now because, as happens at times, when you take something too seriously and you don't get help for your problem, it bleeds into everything else. And everything else just becomes shit in your hands. And that's kind of where his character is. I mean, his character, there is only a couple scenes in this movie where this character is not drinking. And sure enough, the character is like Walter Matthau from the Bad News Bears. That he's at this point he should be considered an alcoholic. He should be considered an alcoholic because he is just always on it with his cup, always sipping. Now, how true that is to the regular person, the real person who they do show at the end of the movie, I don't know, but that's a lot of drinking, on the job. And it kind of played up the fact that this dude is really like dumbstruck with some of the things that he's seen and how unhinged at times he is with being able to tolerate, the confusion, the stress of the job. It's just, oh my God. I can't remember what that basketball coach his name was. He was in college, and he would get pissed and he'd start throwing chairs and everything else out onto the court. And it was his thing to get ejected. Like the coach would get ejected from the game because he had such a loose handle on his temper and attitude that he would just go nuts on the sideline. I can't remember what his name is. I want to say it was Jerry something, but I can't recall his name clearly. But that's kind of how this soccer coach was. He couldn't handle it. When he got really pissed off, he was pissed off. You knew exactly what was going on with him. There was no reserve to his emotional state. It was there, up front, and apparent. Um, a knock on the movie would be that I wish I would have saw more of Samoa. I would have liked that. The scenes that I did see of Samoa, it did look beautiful, which makes it someplace like, oh man, that would be a nice place to visit. And a little more about the culture of Samoa would have been helpful or respectful, because you can get from watching this that the Samoans are just simple dumb folk in a sense. You could make that assertion from seeing the movie that they just seem like they stupid country folks, right? None of Samoas that I've known in the Bay Area are that. They're big hearted, they're loving, but they're not stupid people. They're not stupid people. So that in a Hollywood versus reality sense would be something to actually look into. The other thing is looking at the credits, I didn't see The Rock's name anywhere on this, and I would really wish, since it was dealing with Samoa and he usually plays up his Samoan heritage a lot, that he was involved with this in some form or fashion, at least in getting the picture promoted, if anything. But he wasn't. That's just what it is. Um, well, not really anything else that I can think of right now. Like I said, I did like the humor. I did like the locale. I did like the understanding that the characters were supposed to be real people, even though they were not really flushed out like that. The only character that you get a lot of, two characters that you get a lot of backstory on, is the character of Jaya, who is an openly transgender character, and the character of the goalie. I'm forgetting his name right now. Nipus. I want to say Nip Smiley or something like that, and that wasn't his name. Um, and how it was a story for him of redemption after he let down his country by missing all those goals in 2001, to be here in 2011 actually, you know, helping his team actually win after 11 years. So I'm sure the movie is going to get pushed on the transgender part of it, that this person was real, was a real athlete on this team. And There are some digs that I'm sure people will take at this movie based around that character, and some one of the things that the character does, and what would be considered the message that they try to assert in this about transgenders. But I thought it was. It would be funny to say this, but I thought it was a straight character. It was just a character. It was a character, and it was the flamboyant kind of guy in there. That's what it was. So I think they'll try to push the movie on that more so than anything, more so than the humor and it being Michael Fassbender or anything like that. I think that's what they'll try to push the movie on, and that will be the one thing that will drag the movie down when they push on that. But other than that, I enjoyed the movie. It was fun. I had a good laugh watching it. There were some serious moments. There was a couple of WTF moments. One of which I really thought the movie was going to take a hard, dark turn all of a sudden, and then it was relieved. It's like, oh, okay, cool. A lot of it in there sounds like Korg from Thor talking and narrating, and I'm really thinking like, is that the guy who did the voice for this character? Because that's what it sounds like. Sounds like it was the guy who did the voice for Korg, even though that's supposed to be Taika Waititi. But I don't know. It had a good feel to it that made it seem a bit um, funny and on the nose. What up, Rainfire? Yeah, getting it in kind of late right now. I keep seeing the people running in, running out for 3 seconds at a time. But duty calls. You do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, and no time after that. And another one ran out. So I don't know. For me, it was worth a watch. If you wanted to check it out on a matinee, you'd probably get some laughs out of it. But I would challenge you to watch this movie. Know it's a Taika Waititi movie, and then watch it, and then match it up to the Thor movies and why the Thor movies don't work, but this movie kind of does. And I think it will be because this is his own project, and Thor is not a funny character. It's not. You can use him to make fun, but he's not a funny character. Not like that. And that's why it didn't work. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here, take my ass in the house, try to get me another episode of Blue Eyed Samurai in, and get that up for you guys tomorrow since I'm on call. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.